Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku Was Adopted by Wild Pussycats Group Part 2. Before we start, please go support KingJoka for writing that awesome fanfic. Man vs Beast. Izuku. Villains. The group of students suddenly start getting overwhelmed by feelings of fear and nervousness. Aizawa gears up and 13 gets in front of the students. 13 and Eraserhead, huh? The teacher's schedule we received the other day said that All Might was supposed to be here. A voice seemingly coming from the mist-like portal says as it forms a pair of glowing yellow eyes. Aizawa. So the trespassing the other day was the work of these scumbags after all. Where is he? I went through the trouble of bringing the whole crowd to All Might, the symbol of peace. I can't believe he's not here. Maybe he'll come if we kill some kids. The man covered in what hopefully is fake hand says. Aizawa's hair floats upwards and his scarf spreads out. Izuku. These guys, they're serious. I can smell the bloodlust coming off of them. The others aren't safe here. Sensei doesn't stand a chance either. I've got to protect everyone. Scales start covering Izuku's body and his lower half start transforming into one long tail. He slips out of his shorts and his lower half starts increasing in length and size. He circles around his friends and continues to grow. Everyone looks behind them to see Izuku's serpentine lower half attached to his reptilian upper half. Izuku. Mythical beast Fangorgon. Ida. M. Midoriya. Aizawa. Stand down Midoriya. Izuku. No, I protect my pack. Kitsumi. Who said I need your damn protection? Aizawa. Damn it, fine, just stay here while I take care of the villains. IG. What? Villains? There's no way they could get into a hero school. Momo. Sensei, what about the trespasser sensors? 13. We have them of course, but… Shoko. Did they only appear here or around the school? Either way, if the sensors aren't responding, they must have someone with a quirk to disable them. An isolated area separated from the main campus during a time when a class is supposed to be here. They're fools, but they're not stupid. This surprise attack was carefully planned with some sort of goal in mind. Aizawa. 13. Start the evacuation. Try calling the school. These villains even had something to counter the sensors. It's possible someone with radio wave type powers is interfering. Kaminari, Midoriya, try and use your quirks to call for help too. Denki. Yes, sir. Izuku. Oi, sensei, you can't fight alone, too many erase and capture not work in big groups. Full frontal. Aizawa. Pro heroes don't get anywhere by being one-trick ponies, Midoriya. I'm leaving it to you, 13. Aizawa says while jumping down the stairs and heading straight for the villains. One villain. Shooting squad, let's go. One villain says as he points his gun barrel fingers at Aizawa. Silver-haired villainess. The intel said it'd just be All Might and 13, right? Who's this guy? The villainess says as her hair starts raising up in the air. Born villain. Beats me, but he's an idiot if he thinks he can come at us from the front by himself. Aizawa widens his eyes and focuses their gaze on the villains in front of him. His eyes turn blood red and he activates his quirk. Villain. Hey, what's going on? I can't use my quirk. Silver-haired villainess. Me neither. Aizawa grabs the three of them with his scarf and bashes their skulls against each other to knock them out. Random villain. Idiots, he's Eraserhead, he erases quirks just by looking at them. Random villain 2. Erase. Are you gonna erase the quirks of heteromorphic types like us too? The villain with 4 arms says while rushing at Aizawa. Aizawa. No, I can't. Aizawa says as he dodges the attack of the villain and retaliates with a blow to the face. Aizawa. But guys like you. Aizawa wraps his scarf around the villain and kicks a villain trying to attack him from behind. Aizawa. Tend to manifest their skills in close combat. Aizawa throws the villain here, wrapped his scarf around into a group of thugs, taking them out of commission. Aizawa. So I made sure I'd be able to counter that. Hand villain. He's trained in hand-to-hand combat and you can't tell whose quirk he's erasing because his eyes are hidden by his goggles. He's making it near impossible for villains in groups to fight together. The masses don't stand a ghost of a chance against him. Izuku. Whoa, sensei super strong. He kicking their asses. Denya. Midoriya, this is no time to be in awe. We have to go. Izuku. Oh, right. Hop on tail everyone. Momo. Okay, Midoriya. Kitsumi. Hell no, I'd rather run. 13. I'll watch the rear. Everyone, aside from Kitsumi, Tenya and 13, hop on Izuku's tail as he speedily slithers towards the entrance. Kitsumi. Why are you so fast, damn it? Minora. So is this all tail or is there a leg somewhere here? Momo. Blush, now is not the time for that kind of stuff. Izuku. Hang on, we almost there. Before they can make it to the exit, they're cut off by the Black Mist villain from earlier. Mist. You won't be getting out of here. Aizawa. Damn it, I blinked once and the guy who looks like the most trouble got away. Ist. Nice to meet you, we are the League of Villains. It may be presumptuous of us, but we have invited ourselves into UA so that we may put the so-called symbol of peace, All Might, to rest for good. Izuku. As if people like you could. Ist. Oh, well, aren't you a feisty one? I'm assuming there must have been a mix-up since we were under the impression that All Might would be here. Well, at any rate, it's a separate matter from my role here. 13 tries to use their quirk to suck up the mist villain, but is forced to stop as Kitsumi and Ig jump in. Kitsumi launches an explosion at the villain and creates a smoke screen. Izuku. Oi, what you two doing? Ig. Bet you didn't count on getting your ass kicked before putting your plan into action. Ist. Oh my, that would have been rather painful had it landed. The smoke clears to reveal the villain without so much as a scratch on him. Ist. You may be students, but you're exceptionally excellent rising stars. 13. Shoot, get out of the way you two. Ist. I'm going to be scattering you and torturing you all to death. The villain yells as he surrounds the students and creates a circular dome. Izuku can feel the others being pulled off his tail as well as himself being lifted off the ground. The darkness fades and Izuku suddenly feels as if he's falling. He crashes into something and opens his eyes to realize he's underwater. Izuku. What's going on? I'm underwater. Crap, better change. Izuku's tail grows smaller and transforms to more closely resemble that of a fish. His reptilian scales disappear and gills appear on his neck. Izuku. Mythical beast Fang Merman. Izuku swims in a circle a few times before making his way up to the surface of the water. Izuku. Looks like I'm in the shipwreck zone. Where's everyone? It's hard to pick up their scents as a merman. I need to hurry in him. There's something in the water. Izuku dives back down into the water. Under there he can see a sharkish villain coming at him at high speeds. Shark villain. Nothing personal kid, but I'm gonna rip you to shreds. Izuku. Go ahead and try. Izuku yells as he cocks his fist back. Before he can land a blow though, Sayu came in with Minora and kicked the villain away. Izuku. Tsu. Sayu. Midoriya, Kiro. Sai wraps her tongue around Izuku and lifts him up out of the water. She carefully places him on a nearby boat. Minora. Damn it, how's it a frog has bigger boobs than me? This remark caused Sayu to slam Minora down on the boat hard. Minora. Ow, you did that on purpose. Tsu quickly follows suit and climbs aboard the boat. Izuku. Tsu, Minora, you two okay? Minora. A merman, one of many female fantasies, is lying right before me. Yeah, I'm fine. Sayu. I'm fine too Midoriya, but I can't say the same for our situation. Izuku. Yeah. We easy pickings since we split up. They planned this like Shoko said. Minora. TT, there's no way that they actually have a way to kill All Might, right? I'm sure he'll kick their asses once he gets here. Sayu. Minora-chan, don't you think they're trying so hard because they have a way to kill All Might? Those very same people just told us that they're going to torture us to death. It's hard to imagine we'll be able to survive long enough until All Might makes it here. And even if he does come, do you think we'll make it out in one piece? Minora. Now you're giving me doubts, don't fill my head with huh. Midoriya, what's that? Minora says afraid while pointing at the water. Sayu. Kiro. Shark villain. You bastard, I'll kill you. The shark villain appears once more with many more villains alongside him in the water. Minora. There's a whole lot of them. Izuku. Tsu is probably right, they most likely have a way to kill Yagi-sensei. But why? Is it because he's the symbol of peace? Because he's seen as the antagonistic force towards evildoers? If ever his fall comes to fruition, there'll be no doubt that there'll be an influx of crimes. The balance of good and evil will shift. I can't let that happen. If they can kill All Might, we need fight and stop them. Minora. Fight. Are you crazy? If they can kill All Might, what do you expect us to do? The best idea is to sit tight and wait. Izuku. No time for that, our friends, our pack, fighting for their lives. I'm not letting anyone die here. I put my life on line so that everyone lives to see tomorrow that what it means to be hero. Minora is taken back by Izuku's words. Tsu stands there in awe at a merman classmate in front of her. Seeing no use in arguing against him, Minora gives up. Minora. Alright, fine. I'll go along with this. What's your plan? Izuku. First, we check in on allies. Sayu. How do we do that? Izuku. Take my hands. The two girls look at each other confused before trusting Izuku and taking hold of his fishy hands. They sit there in silence, unmoving for a few moments. Sayu. Midoriya. Why are we doing this? Minora. Well, at least if I die, I'll die while being in physical intimacy with a boy. Sayu. There wasn't a need to refer to hand-holding like that. Izuku. Just a little longer, alright, the link is set up. Minoru. Huh, what was that? Izuku. It's me. I'm in your heads. Minoru. Oh yeah, you could do that, couldn't you? Sai. Why did we have to hold hands for this? Izuku. I need to set up a mental link before I can telepathically communicate. The closer I am to the other person, the faster I can set up the link. Physical contact makes it even faster. Sai. I see. This makes for smoother communication. And we can call for help from UA. Izuku. Unfortunately not. My telepathy has a range on it. Those I've formed links with from UA are out of range right now. We need to find another means of calling back up. Minoru. Like what? The radio signals are probably being jammed. Izuku. I've formed links with a few others. One of which I know can get help. Back at the entrance of USJ, the students who had not been warped and 13 are still having their confrontation against a mist villain. Denya. Shoji-kun, is everyone here? Shoji. Everyone's in the building but they're scattered around the place. Zero. Damn it, physical attacks have no effect and he can warp things. His quirk's the worst to deal with. Mina. What do we do? Ichako. I don't know but we have to think of something, fast. Izuku. Tenya, Ichako, can you hear me? Ichako. Huh? Denya. Did you all hear that? Sato. Hear what? Izuku. Hey, respond already, it's me, Izuku. Ichako. Deku. Denya. Midoriya-kun. Zero. What are you two going on about? Midori is nowhere near here. Ichako. I know, but I hear him in my head. 13. It's his telepathy. I remember reading about it in his file. Mina. Oh yeah, Jiro and All Might said something about that too. Denya. Midoriya-kun, we hear you loud and clear. Where are you? Izuku. I'm in the shipwreck zone with Tsu and Minoru. What about you guys? Ichako. We're both still here at the entrance. Zero, Mina, Shoji, Sato and 13 are here with us. Izuku. Alright, you're at the entrance, that's good. Tenya, I need you to run back to UA and call for help. Denya. What? I can't leave the others here alone. Izuku. Think for a second, Tenya. The villain detection sensors were unable to detect these guys. They probably jammed their signal along with cell phone signals using one of their quirks. We don't have time to find whoever's doing it. I can't reach UA with my telepathy, so our best option is for you to run and find help in person. Denya. But. Izuku. You're Ingenium's brother, aren't you? Put those legs to use and save your friends. Prove to me that my vote for class president wasn't a mistake. Denya. Midoriya, I understand. I'll make sure to get help. I'll save our classmates. You can count on me, class rep. Izuku. Great, I'm entrusting our classmates to you. With that, Izuku's voice fades out from the minds of Ichako and Tenya. Denya. Everyone. 13. What is it? Denya. You can leave the job of getting help to me. Mina. What? Denya. Our class rep, no, our pack leader has placed our safety in my hands. I'm going to run for help, so please, would you help me? Ichako. Ida-kun, I'm with you. Zero. Heh, we can't exactly turn down a request from our alpha, can we? 13. We'll make sure you get out of here. Ist. As if I let you, you shouldn't discuss your plans in front of your enemies. Ida. Let's go. Cutting back to the shipwreck zone, Izuku had just ended his mental transmission with Tenya and Ichako. Izuku. Alright, looks like we've secured our call for help. Minoru. Yes, thank God we're gonna live. Sai. We won't if we get killed by these guys in the water. Minoru. Oh, right, I almost forgot about them. Midoriya, what do we do? Izuku. They haven't moved at all. They're waiting for us to act. They're trying to make us fight in the water. Sai. These villains are all aquatic quirk users. Does that mean they knew what would be in these facilities beforehand? Izuku. I'd say so. But it's strange. Of all the people and places, they sent you here, Tsu. That would imply that they don't know what quirks we have. Sai. Kiro, that's true. If they knew I was a frog, they probably would have sent me to that fire zone. Izuku. Since they don't know what our quirks are, they probably separated us and hope to overpower us with numbers. We don't have nearly as much experience and inferior numbers, so we need to rely on the fact that they don't know our quirks. You can tell they're being cautious because of that since they aren't trying to climb the boat. But that also means they're taking us seriously. Sai. Kiro, I'll tell you more about my quirk. I can jump high, stick to walls and stick my tongue out up to about 20 meters. I can also spit my stomach out to wash it and secrete toxic mucus that stings a bit. The last two are pretty much useless so you can probably forget about them. Izuku. As expected of a frog. I can do the same things if I turn myself froggy too. Anyways, I already explained my quirk on the bus, but my quirk pretty much alters my body to do whatever I want it to do. One such example would be it modifying my brain to transmit my thoughts to others and receive their thoughts. I also have immense power. I don't really have control of it though, so if I use it, I'd end up breaking my bones. Minora. My quirk creates balls on my head that grow as fast as I can pluck them. They stick really tight. If I'm feeling good, they can stick for a whole day. If I pull off too many though, I'll start bleeding. They don't stick to me. They just bounce off. Izuku and Tsuyu just stare at Minora in silence after hearing her explain her quirk. Minora's eyes start tearing up, much to the surprise of Izuku and Tsuyu. Minora. This is why I said we should just wait quietly, my quirk isn't suited for battle. Izuku. And no, it great quirk really useful, cheer up. Izuku says, trying to cheer up his grape of a classmate. He stops however as his ears hear something approaching. At that moment the ship is sliced in two by a villain manipulating the water like a blade. Water villain. I'm getting impatient. Let's hurry up and finish this. Tsuyu. Such power, the ship sinking. Minora goes into complete panic and runs to the edge of the ship. She starts throwing her purple balls into the water. Izuku. Oi, stop it, they going find out your quirk. Izuku was saying before he noticed how the villains were trying to avoid the balls. Villain. What are the hell are these things? Izuku. They're being cautious and not trying to touch them. Villain. The boat will sink in less than a minute. Once they get in the water, they'll be easy pickings. Minora. Sweet mother of God, they're right. Tsuyu. Minora-chan, did you really come to UA to be a hero? Minora. Shut up, it's weirder to not be scared in a situation like this. We were only in junior high until a little while ago. Who could have thought we'd be killed just after starting school? Oh man, I'm going to die before even getting a chance to rub against Midoriya's muscles. Minora continues to panic until Izuku places his hand on her head. She turns around to see Izuku in his human form stand up boldly with a serious look on his face. Izuku. No one is dying today. An enemy is most vulnerable when they believe their victory is theirs. That is the moment when a pack strikes together. I was taught this when I was still a pup. I've got a plan to take care of them. Follow through with it and I can guarantee that victory will be ours. Tsuyu. Midoriya, I'm all for your plan, but could you please put your pants back on? It's really hard to focus. It is at this point that Izuku looks down and remembers that he slipped out of his pants to transform earlier. Izuku. Oh right. I'm sorry you had to see that. Minora. I'm not. And here's your shorts. Izuku. Thanks, why did you have my shorts? Minora. Reasons. Izuku. Sounds legit. Izuku says while sliding on his shorts. Shark villain. You really must be kids, with all your screaming and chirping. Water villain. Hey, Shigaraki said to not underestimate them. They may be kids, but they've got quirks. Though ours are superior in the water. Izuku jumps up onto the railings of the sinking ship and lets loose a loud wolf howl that grabs the attention of the villains. He jumps up into the air and aims his left middle finger and thumb down to the ground. Water villain. He's a kid alright. Izuku. There are still plenty more villains scattered around the area, so I can't afford to break my arm. I'm gonna take a page out of your book, Yagi-sensei, Delaware Smash. Izuku yells as he flicks his fingers and fires a massive compressed blast of downwards at the water. The blast causes the water to spread out and result in a powerful whirlpool that draws the villains in. Izuku. Minora. Tsuyu. Kiro. Tsuyu jumps up from the ship while carrying Minora. She wraps her tongue around Izuku. Izuku smiles despite two of his fingers being broken. Minora tightens her fist seeing Izuku like this. Minora. What the hell, Midoriya? How can you still smile? We're in a situation so hopeless yet you'll still run head first convinced that we'll make it out of this alive. How are you so confident and brave? Minora grips the balls on her head while fueled by her thoughts and emotions. Minora. I wanna be brave like you, I wanna be confident, I'm gonna be a cool and strong smiling hero just like you. Minora yells as she throws her purple balls down into the water with rapid speed. She keeps throwing them despite her head starting to bleed. Villain. I'm getting sucked in. The ILLAIN2. The whirlpool's too strong. The purple balls Minora threw began flowing with the water and sticking to the villains caught in the whirlpool. Villain. What the hell is this? I can't get it off. Izuku. Nishishishi, strong force causes water to spread and converge back in middle. The villains all clump up together and end up in the center of the whirlpool. The water quickly rushes back and creates a massive water sprout that blasts the clumped together villains out of the water. Tsuyu. Rounded up everyone at once and blasted them all away. Looks like we managed to clear the first hurdle. You two are amazing. Meanwhile, Rockslide Zone. Denki. Denki yelled while dodging the punch of a villain and running away terrified. Denki. Ah, this is so scary, I'm pretty sure I just saw death, what the hell is up with these guys? Hyoka. Stop whining and fight back, we need to figure out how to get out of this mess. Hyoka says as she fends off a villain with a sword created by Momo. Denki. Then at least give me a weapon too. Hyoka. You're the electric guy, aren't you? Take care of them. Denki. Were you watching me during the combat training or were you only focused on your boyfriend Midoriya? I can discharge electricity, but I can't control it and I can't call for help because the signal's being jammed. Hyoka. Blush, he's not my boyfriend. Momo. Ah, really? Denki. Hey, I'm counting on you too here since you can't count on me. Hyoka. Would you man up already? If you're not gonna fight, then at least be a human stun gun. Denki. Wait, what? Hyoka kicks Denki into the villain he was running from. As if instinct, he electrocutes the villain and knocks them unconscious. Denki. Oh, I get it. I'm super strong, you two can leave it to me. Hyoka. Hey, now you're being too pompous. Villain. Stop messing around. The villain yells while charging at Hyoka with a boulder. Hyoka reacts quickly and plugs her earphone jacks into her boots. She blasts the villain with a sound wave that shatters the rock while Denki electrocutes him. Another villain tries to ambush Denki from behind with knives. Momo threw a net over the villain to stop them and allowing Denki to electrocute them. Momo. Alright, it's done. Momo yells as a giant sheet bursts out from her back and covers her and Hyoka. Momo. This sheet is 10 centimeters thick and insulates electricity. Kaminari. Denki. I'm on it, I'm bringing down the thunder. Denki yells as he discharges his electricity into the ground at full power and electrocutes everyone aside from Hyoka and Momo who were protected by the sheet. Momo. Great, looks like that was a success. Let's get back to the others, I'm really worried about everyone. Momo said, unaware of the fact that her shirt had been torn apart, revealing her rather ample cleavage. Hyoka. Hold up, your clothes just got super punk. Momo. Oh, it's really alright. I can just create them again. Hyoka. That's some crazy growth there. Hearing footsteps nearby, Hyoka quickly covers up Momo's chest. Hyoka. Kaminari, you better not look this way. Contrary to Hyoka's belief, Denki simply walks past them. He turns around to reveal a stupid look on his face while he's holding up 2 thumbs and speaking nonsense. Hyoka. PFFT, what the heck? Hyoka and Momo come out of the sheet after repairing Momo's clothes. Izuku. Hyoka, Momo, what's going on over there? Momo. What the? Hyoka. It's Midoriya. Telepathy, remember? Momo. Oh, of course. Hyoka. Midoriya, we're fine. Izuku. Thank goodness. I was worried when I saw that massive blast of electricity in your direction. Momo. That was Kaminari-kun. We managed to take care of the villain surrounding us, but how did you know which direction we were in? Izuku. I can pick up your scents better now that I'm no longer a merman. Momo. Merman. Hyoka. What about you? Izuku. I'm in the shipwreck zone with Tsu and Minora. We just took care of the villains and are planning on making our way back to the entrance. You guys should make your way back there too. Hyoka. So that big water sprout was you guys. Momo. Understood, we'll make our way to the others. Izuku. Good, stay safe you two. Back to Izuku. After landing in the water and making sure the villains weren't going anywhere, the 3 students start wading through the water to the shore. Izuku and Saya being the ones in the water, while Minora rides on Izuku's back due to her height. Minora. I had a bowel movement this morning so those things'll stick all day. Izuku. We're lucky they didn't have any other people hidden to serve as reserve forces. Saya. Yeah, we would have been in deep trouble if that was the case. Anyways, what's our next move, Midoriya? Izuku. The best thing we can do now is go help the others. We should avoid the plaza since that's where the majority of the villains are gathered by Aizawa-sensei. Saya. That's true, sensei is busy fighting them all off by himself. Izuku looks towards the plaza with concern clearly present on his face. Izuku. There are far too many of them for him to handle. He's putting himself under too much pressure. Minora. Hey, Midoriya, I feel like I know what you plan on doing, and it's really stupid. Izuku. I'm not gonna do anything to interfere with him. But if there's some way we can lessen the load for him, I'm going to do it. Saya. I'm a little worried about sensei as well but. Minora. Alright, fine, but we're bolting the second things get dicey. Izuku. Okay. And so, the 3 young heroes in training make their way to the shore. They swim along it discreetly in silence until they get a clear view of the plaza. Minora. Hey, we're just going to check things out, remember? Izuku. Yeah, we'll scram if things get too rough to handle. In the plaza, Aizawa is managing to hold off the army of villains. Many of them were already beaten and passed out on the floor. While he's dealing with two villains, he notices out of the corner of his eyes the hand villain charging at him. Hand villain. 28 seconds. Aizawa. The final boss. Aizawa says as he knocks the two villains out and attempts to capture the hand villain. Hand villain. 22 seconds, 17 seconds, 13 seconds. The villain grabs the scarf and continues to rush at Aizawa with his hand outstretched. Aizawa lunges at him and attempts to elbow him. His elbow is however caught by the hand villain's palm. Aizawa. Damn. Aizawa says as his hair drops and deactivates his quirk due to his eyes drying out. Hand villain. It's hard to pick up on, but there's an instance when your hair drops. That's when you deactivate your quirk. The space between each instance keeps growing shorter and shorter. You're getting closer to dropping dead, Eraserhead. The hand villain explains while Aizawa's elbow starts turning gray. His shirt disintegrates and the skin around his elbow starts crumbling. Aizawa reactivates his quirk and punches away the villain with his free arm. Aizawa. My arm's crumbling. The other weaker villains take the opportunity to try and attack Aizawa. He manages to dodge all of them despite clearly being out of breath. Hand villain. Your quirk isn't meant for group fights that drag on. You stepped out of your comfort zone, Eraserhead. Short fights after a surprise attack, that's your style, right? Yet you jumped in to fight us head on. Did you do that to put your students at ease? The hand villain taunted while Aizawa dealt with the other villains trying to take him down. After dealing with them, he grabs his scarf and activates his quirk while staring down the hand villain. Hand villain. So cool, you're really cool, by the way, hero. I'm not the final boss. The hand villain says while pointing behind Aizawa. Aizawa slowly turns around to see the giant bird-faced villain behind. Before Aizawa can even move, he's slammed into the ground by the monster. The three students in the water can only stare wide-eyed as the beak-faced beast brutally torments their teacher. Izuku. Sensei. Their hearts drop seeing their teacher laying face down in a pool of his own blood. The beast mounted on his back pulling on Aizawa's arm which it broke. Hand villain. Allow me to introduce you. He's the anti-symbol of peace, the bioengineered Nomu. The beast, now known as Nomu, twists Aizawa's broken arm, causing him to scream out in pain. Hand villain. Sure, you can erase quirks. But when faced with true destructive power, you may as well be quirkless. Aizawa turns around and tries to erase the beast's quirk. Nomu simply crushes Aizawa's unbroken arm, making him scream in pain once more. Aizawa. He just snapped my arm like it was a twig. I know I erased his quirk. That means he's just that strong. He's as strong as All Might. Nomu grabs Aizawa by the skull and forcefully lifts his head up. He effortlessly slams Aizawa's face into the ground, creating a miniature crater. Izuku, fueled by rage, tries to climb out of the water. He's stopped however as he feels Tsuyu grab his arm. He looks at her with enraged eyes. With tears in her eyes, she slowly shakes her head no. Minora tightens her hold around Izuku's shoulders. Minora. I know it's hard to watch, but we can't do anything here. We've got to get out of here before the same thing happens to us. Izuku grits his teeth and grips the ground hard enough to form cracks before reluctantly going back in the water. Right at that instance, the purple mist villain appears right next to the hand villain. Mist villain. Tamura Shigaraki. Tamura. Kurogiri, did you kill 13? Kurogiri. I put them out of commission, but there were students I was unable to disperse of, and one of them got away. Tamura. Huh. Tamura said as he began to violently scratch at his own neck. He was shaking like a maniac and kept on scratching despite starting to bleed. Tamura. Kurogiri, if you weren't our way out, I would have turned you to dust. Izuku. Tenya managed to get out. That means help is on its way. Tamura. We don't stand a chance against dozens of pros. I guess it's time to cut our losses and head home. Minora. They're going home? Did he just say they're going home? Tsuyu. That's what I heard. Tears of joy form around Minora's eye as she hugs Izuku's back even tighter. Minora. Alright, we're saved. Tsuyu. Yes, but. Tsuyu mentally said as she noticed Minora's two buds rubbing against Izuku's back. This causes Tsuyu to push Minora's head down in the water. Tsuyu. I've got a bad feeling about this, Midoriya. Izuku. Yeah, they're leaving just like that after everything they've done. They wanted to kill All Might. If they left now, the school would just beef up security. I feel as if they're planning something. Tamura. Oh yeah. Before we leave, let's smash some of his pride. Tamura says while turning around slowly. Before any of the three students can blink, Tamura appears right in front of them with his hand outstretched at Tsuyu's face. Tamura. As the symbol of peace. Izuku's eyes turn to the pale-skinned villain. The image of Aizawa's elbow crumbling flashed in his mind. The thought of his froggy classmate being turned to dust caused something inside of Izuku to snap. He jumps out of the water with his fist cocked and mind overwhelmed by rage and bloodlust. Izuku. Don't you dare touch her smash. Izuku punches forward with all his might. The punch creates a massive gust of wind that blows every villain still in the plaza off their feet. The lights of USJ were destroyed from the wind pressure. Izuku stands there in a dust cloud panting. Izuku. My arm's not broken. I can finally control my power at a time like this. Yes, alright, I got in a good smash. As the dust cloud clears, Izuku looks up to see that his punch had instead made contact with the beak-faced Nomu. Izuku. When wait, he didn't even budge. Sigh. Don't you think they're trying so hard because they have a way to kill All Might? Izuku. No way, this guy. Tamura. You move well. Your smash, are you a follower of All Might? Oh well, I'm done with you. Nomu grabs Izuku's right arm and raises his free hand. Izuku. Tsu, Minora, cover your ears, now. Sai slaps Tamura's hand away and covers her ears with Minora. Izuku at the same moment transforms the arm Nomu is grabbing into that of a gorilla and breaks free. He inhales deeply and his mouth transforms to resemble that of a bat. Izuku. Sorry about stealing your bit, present Mick, KingJoka. Beast Fang ultrasonic wail. Izuku lets out an ear-deafening high-pitched screech. Despite Sayu and Minora covering their ears, they're still struggling to withstand the screech. The villains in the plaza are unable to withstand the high frequency of the scream and end up passing out. Tamura remains unaffected from the sound due to the Nomu shielding his ears. Seeing this, Izuku cranks up the intensity of his sonic blast. This results in both villains being pushed back. Izuku cocks back his gorilla fist and lunges forward while still screaming. He punches the villain duo which, combined with a now point-blank sonic blast, sends them flying back. Izuku ceases the yell and turns back to his friends. Izuku. You two okay? Minora. Luckily, I don't think I'll end up deaf after that. Sayu. Midoriya-kun, your mouth, your arm. Izuku looks at his gorilla arm and can see that it's covered in blood. He can also taste blood around his mouth. He transforms them both back to normal. Izuku. Mixing transformations together and rapid transforming puts a lot of strain on my body. I'm lucky a little bleeding was all I got away with. Tamura. Impressive. You actually managed to push Nomu back. But a simple push isn't worth anything against Nomu. Tamura says as Nomu releases him from his hold. Tamura. Nomu, snap him. The monster appears right in front of Izuku before he can even blink. Izuku manages to dodge a punch from it by bending backwards. He stretches his arms and grabs his two classmates in the water. He manages to get past Nomu and picks up Izawa by his shirt using his teeth. Tamura and Nomu both try to rush at Izuku while he's carrying them. Izuku steps back to avoid them and jumps far back so he's a bit ahead of the stairs. Izuku lets go of his friends and carefully lowers Izawa to the ground. Izuku's injured sensei manages to open his eyes and weakly looks up to him. Izawa. Me Midoriya. Izuku, thank you sensei. You kept us safe. Now, it's my turn to keep you safe. Izawa. And no you can't. Izuku. Your job is to watch over me. You've done a great job, allow me to extend my gratitude. Minora. Midoriya, what do you think you're doing? Izuku. Protecting my pack. Sayu. You can't be serious, you saw what they did to Izawa-sensei you. Izuku places his hand on Sayu's head. Sayu looks up to see him with a serious expression on his face. Izuku. Tsu, I promised myself I'd never let another person die in front of me ever again. I don't intend to break that promise anytime soon. Tamura. What a nice moment you're sharing with your friends. Too bad it's not going to last. Izuku turns back to face the group of villains. He steps over his teacher so he's in front of the three of them. He throws his right arm out to his side. His arm transforms into a green flame that takes the shape of a large feathered wing. Izuku. Mythical beast Fang Phoenix blessing. Izuku grabs hold of a handful of the green flamed wings feathers. Doing this seemingly heals Izuku's broken fingers as two of them disappear. He turns around and hands the remaining feathers to Tsu and Minora. Izuku. Tsu, Minora, take these. Minora. Whoa, hey, those are on fire, wait, they don't hurt. Sayu. Midoriya, what are these? Izuku. I didn't want to always rely on Recovery Girl to heal my injuries. I decided to do a little bit of research in Greek mythology so I could find a way to heal myself. I found the phoenix. These feathers not only heal my injuries, but other people's injuries as well. Only catch is that I need at least one uninjured arm to use this as use on sensei and take him to others at entrance. Sayu. What about you, Midoriya? Izuku turns around to look at the villains once more. He transforms his blazing wing back into a gorilla arm. Izuku. I'll hold them off. Minora. Midoriya. Izuku. Reinforcements be here any minute. I buy time until pros arrive. If I don't, we all gonna die here please, I need you both trust me here and go. Sayu. Alright, we're counting on you, Midoriya, please stay safe. Minoru. Midoriya, you better survive. Izuku. Of course, and one more thing. Izuku removes his necklace and tosses it to Tsuyu, who catches it. Izuku. Keep that safe for me. Tsuyu. Sure. Izuku. Good, now go. Tsuyu and Minoru pick up their injured teacher and start making their way back to the entrance. Tamura. You really think I'm going to let them get away? Tamura says as he makes a mad dash towards Tsuyu, Minoru and Izawa. He's however cut off by a wall forming out of the concrete. He looks to Izuku to see his hand placed on the ground. Izuku. If you want get to them, you have to kill me. Tamura. I'll take you up on that offer. Tamura rushes at Izuku with his hand outstretched. Izuku stomps on the ground and creates a wall that Tamura turns to dust. Izuku takes advantage of the opening created by the stone wall and punches forward with his gorilla arm. Before the punch can land, a portal opens up that Izuku's arm passes through. Another portal opens up that sends Izuku's own gorilla fist straight into his face and sends him flying back. Izuku. Damn it, that hurt. You bastards. Tamura. You've got an unusual skill set there. At first I thought you had a power augmenting quirk, but then you displayed the abilities of a beast-type transformation quirk, and after that came the power to manipulate materials such as the ground. Why do you have so many powers? Were you naturally born with them? You're cheating, aren't you? Cheaters deserve to be punished. Tamura snaps his fingers, causing Nomu to snap to action. The beast lunges at Izuku with its fist ready. Unable to dodge, Izuku transforms his other arm into a gorilla's and crosses them both. The beast's fist collides with Izuku's arms and sends him flying straight into the mountain of the shipwreck zone. Izuku lands in a massive crater, coughing up blood upon impact. Izuku. The hell is this guy? My arms, they aren't broken, but they're pretty damn near to close to being that. How is he just naturally this strong without a quirk? Izuku's eyes widen as he sees Nomu heading directly for him. Izuku manages to stretch himself to avoid a direct hit. Izuku's entire body ignites into a massive green fireball. He emerges from the flames a dazzling green phoenix. Izuku grabs Nomu by the shoulders with his bird talons. He rises into the sky before descending at breakneck speeds towards the plaza. He lets go of Nomu, sending him crashing down into the ground. Izuku lands on the ground and transforms his torso and head back to normal. The dust clears to reveal Nomu standing completely uninjured. Izuku. TCH, he really durable. Izuku flies into the air above of Nomu. Once he reaches a suitable height, his limbs turn back to normal. His wolf tail becomes a long thick reptilian one with what appears to be a club at the end of it. Armored scales appear all over his body. Izuku. Ancient beast fang and kilo hammer. Izuku spins rapidly as he starts descending upon Nomu. He slams his tail club down on Nomu, creating a small crater. Nomu however still remains standing there as if it was nothing. It grabs Izuku's tail and flings him straight into the plaza fountain. Nomu jumps up in the air and attempts to land on Izuku. Izuku manages to roll out the way and slams a piece of the broken fountain into Nomu's face. He grabs the beast by the legs and slams him into the ground. He transforms back to normal before transforming his arms back into those of a gorilla. He unleashes an intense barrage of punches on him. Izuku. Izuku punches with all his might, indenting the beast into the ground. Izuku remains standing there while panting. Blood can be seen trickling down his arms. Just when he thinks Nomu has stopped moving, Izuku is caught off guard by Nomu grabbing him by the head. Izuku. Are you serious? That didn't do anything. He's still fine. The beast stands up from the indentation it left in the ground. It punches him hard in the gut and sends him flying. A portal opens up in Izuku's flight path. Izuku travels through the portal and reappears flying straight back to Nomu. Nomu elbows him in his stomach before uppercutting him into the air. Portals appear beneath Nomu's foot and right above Izuku. Nomu stomps his foot through the portal, sending Izuku crashing back down. Before Izuku even makes contact with the ground, Nomu punches him in the face and sends him right into the wall he made. Izuku falls out of the wall he was embedded in and lands on the floor. He struggles to push himself up from the ground. Izuku. My attacks aren't doing shit. Even if I'm not using one for all, they should at least be doing something. Tamura. The look on your face is priceless. How does it feel? Just because you decided to be a hero and save your friends a couple more minutes, you're going to die. And your symbol of peace can't save you. All heroism breeds is destruction and mayhem. Villains are a result of heroes after all. Izuku. You crazy, and I not going to die, I promise my pack. Tamura. You promised them. It's almost funny that you think that means anything. At any rate, I'd give up if I was you. If you haven't realized it by now, Nomu's quirk is shock absorption. Your puny punches won't do anything. Izuku. Shock absorption. No wonder my blows haven't been doing anything. He's just been absorbing my blows. Any other blunt blows I throw at him won't do shit either. Shock absorption, eh? In that case. Izuku returns his arms back to normal. He transforms his nails into long razor-sharp blades. Izuku. I need to change up my strategy. Back with Tsuyu and Minora, the two of them finally made it to the top of the stairs with their injured teacher. Ichako and the others who were already there rush over to them. Ichako. Tsu, Minora. Minora. Make way, sensei's really badly hurt. Sato. 13's in bad shape too. Set Izawa-sensei down next to them. Tsuyu and Minora, with the help of Shoji, proceed to place Izawa down next to the injured 13. Minora stands in front of both of them holding the feathers Izuku gave them. Mina. What are those? Minora. Phoenix feathers, I guess. Midoriya said that these heal injuries. He told us to use them on Izawa-sensei, but 13's injured now too. Tsuyu. We should split them up and use some on 13. How many do we have? Minora. We've got about 7. 13. You don't need to use them on me. Eraserhead is more damaged than me, he needs as many as he can get. Mina. We can't leave you like this though. 0. Okay, let's give Izawa-sensei 5 and 13 too. Mina. Okay, sounds good. How do we use them? Tsuyu. I think physical contact with them is enough. So just place them on them. Tsuyu places 5 of the feathers on Izawa and Ichako, places the remaining 2 on 13. The feathers seem to be absorbed by the two of them, and their injuries start to heal. Izawa opens his eyes and immediately stands up. Izawa. Midoriya ah. Tsuyu. Sensei, you need to lie down. 0. Looks like 5 weren't enough. You're still pretty badly injured. Izawa. I'm fine now. Where's Midoriya? Minora. He's down there still fighting. Ichako. What? Izawa. He can't stay down there, it's impossible to win against that monster. He'll die. Mina. We need to go help him. Tsuyu. No, we can't. Mina. What, why not? Minora. We've got 2 injured people right here. Midoriya is keeping the 3 biggest threats busy so we don't end up even worse than our teachers here. Tsuyu. We can't do much against them either. We'd end up being dead weight. Midoriya is arguably the strongest out of all of us. Even if we did go, he'd probably find some way to stop us from interfering. Izawa. Damn it, that's true. He's too stubborn to listen to reason. Especially in a time like this. Tsuyu. He knows how dangerous this is, he's only stalling them until reinforcements arrive. He's smarter than he looks, so I doubt he'll do something reckless. Izawa. I really don't have a leg to stand on for an argument here. There's no choice but to leave this in Midoriya's hands. Are we the only ones here? Shoji. I could hear Bakugo and Kirishima's voices coming from that destroyed building pile next to us. There's ice in the landslide, so I'm pretty sure that's where Todoroki is. No idea about the others though. Tsuyu. What about Jiro, Momo, and Kaminari-kun? Shoji. What about them? Tsuyu. Midoriya contacted them and told them to find their way here. I expected them to be here by now. Izawa. That can't be a good sign. There's no telling if they're safe or not. Back to Izuku. Izuku is doing his best to avoid attacks from the combined efforts of Nomu and Kurogiri. He slashes at Nomu with his claws, but his cuts don't seem to cause any bleeding. Izuku. The cuts I'm making aren't deep enough. I need to find a way to put more power behind these slashes. Izuku narrows his eyes as they shift to his left. He jumps back to avoid a portal punch to the face. Kurogiri. He noticed the attack before the portal even materialized. Tamura. He's more observant than I gave him credit for actually, no. He's not being observant, he's just relying completely on his instincts. Izuku is about to lunge back at them, but has to stop because he hears a voice in his head. Momo. Midoriya-kun, please come in, we need help. Izuku. Momo, what's wrong? Momo. A villain appeared from underneath the earth and apprehended Kaminari-kun. It's the same villain who's been jamming the signal. Izuku. What? Momo. Jiro and I cannot move for fear of the villain killing Kaminari-kun. I don't know what to do. Please, help us, save Kaminari-kun. Izuku. Leave it to your alpha, nobody messes with our pack. Izuku dodges a punch from Nomu by jumping up high into the air. His nails turn back to normal. He yells as his entire body starts glowing with an intense light. The brightness causes literally everyone to cover their eyes. At the center of the light, Izuku points his finger at the rockslide zone. A single purple-tipped quill sprouts from his hand. Izuku. Beast Fang Hedgehog Sniper. Izuku clenches his fist and shoots the quill out like a bullet. The quill travels through the air at high speeds. The quill pierces into the neck of the villain holding Kaminari hostage. Villain. Ow, what the hell is this? Izuku. I coated the quill with a special toxin. Upon entering the bloodstream, it causes temporary total paralysis. He won't be moving or be able to use his quirk for a while, so now's your chance. Momo. Understood. Momo mentally says as she creates a metal pole and charges at the villain. Villain. Hey, did you forget I've got your friend's life in the palm of my hand? I can fry his brain just like wait, why isn't it working? And why can't I move? Momo strikes the villain with her pole and frees Denki from his grasp. KingJoka follows up with a sonic blast that knocks the villain out. KingJoka. We did it. Momo. Yes. Let's go before things get worse. Midoriya-kun, we took down the villain. Izuku. Well done Momo. Now get to the entrance. The bright light emitting from Izuku dies down. Kurogiri. He stopped. I don't see what his point was. Was he just trying to create an opening for himself? If so, he wasted it. Tamura. I don't think he was creating an opening. More like he was distracting us from something else. Izuku lands back on the ground and transforms his nails back into blades. He slashes at Nomu, but his nails beak upon impact. He ducks to avoid a punch to the face and slides between Nomu's legs. Izuku. Damn it. I can turn soap into diamonds, but I can't even scratch this thing. Wait, that gives me an idea. Izuku grabs Nomu by the legs and flash freezes him to the ground. Nomu swings behind him to tries to strike Izuku. Izuku backflips to avoid and places his hands on the ground. The concrete wraps around Nomu's arms and hardens. Izuku grabs hold of both his concrete-covered arms. Izuku's body starts slowly transforming into what appears to be diamond. Nomu's arms and the concrete transform into the diamond-like substance as well. Izuku jumps a far distance away from Nomu. Izuku. Beast Fang. Green markings appear on Izuku's torso and arms as they both increase in size. His upper body transforms into that of a gorilla. Izuku. Guerrilla warfare. Izuku bends down and gets in a running position. The bottom of his feet glow brightly. Tamura. That's not good. Kurogiri. Before Kurogiri can do something, he's knocked back by a concrete rising from the ground and hitting him in his metal neck piece. Izuku. Nice try. Kurogiri. Crap, he hit my actual body. Izuku. I'm finishing this. Izuku charges his right arm with one for all and generates green electricity from it. His feet shine brightly and he launches himself forward with a massive explosion. Izuku reaches Nomu and punches forward with his full power. Izuku. Thunder Kong. Izuku roars as he pushes his fist forward into Nomu's gut. The power behind his punch was enough to break Nomu's legs free from the frozen ground and rip Nomu's arms apart from his body and send him flying. Izuku. Not yet. Izuku transforms his nails back to blades. His blade nails change into the diamond substance. He creates another, even bigger explosion from his feet and rockets towards Nomu. Izuku. I don't wish to kill any people. But you no longer bear the scent of a human. Izuku slashes forward with his diamond blade nails. Blood spurts from Izuku's gorilla arm like a broken hose. Despite this, he keeps on pushing. With one final yell, Izuku slashes straight through Nomu, cutting him into pieces. Izuku. There is no guillotine. Izuku lands on the ground behind the diced-up pieces of Nomu. He raises his bloody arm up into the air. Tamura. Oh Nomu, you bastard, how could you? He was our only shot at beating All Might, how were you able to kill him? You cheater hacker. Izuku allows a smile to creep onto his face. Izuku. How's that? I won. Izuku closes his eyes to relax. They both pop wide open when Izuku feels a large hand wrap around his face. Tamura. Just kidding. Izuku slowly turns his head to see the horrific bird-faced Nomu. Izuku. Impossible, you shouldn't be standing. I sliced you and your arms. Izuku looks at Nomu and sees it regrowing the other arm. Tamura. I never said his quirk was just shock absorption. Nomu here happens to have regeneration as well. Izuku. No way. Tamura. Nomu here was given the sole purpose of killing All Might. To do that, we gave him the perfect combination of quirks. Honestly, did you really think you could beat something built to kill All Might? How foolish. Nomu, finish him. Nomu raises Izuku up by his skull. He slams Izuku onto the ground, causing him to cough up blood. Nomu stands there above Izuku who can barely move. The monster unleashes a barrage of punches so fast all that can be seen are blurs. Izuku is unable to dodge the attacks and can only fight to stay conscious. Each punch created cracks in the ground, with each one bigger than the last. Nomu ceases his brutal barrage and grabs Izuku by the leg. He lifts him up over his shoulder and slams him into the ground. He lifts him up and does the same thing again. He repeats doing this several times, staining the ground red with Izuku's blood. Nomu swings Izuku up into the air. Meanwhile, at the entrance. Ichako. Hey, I'm getting signal on my phone. 13. Really? Izawa. Somebody must have taken down the signal jamming villain. Mina. Should we call for help? It seems kinda unnecessary since help is probably on the way thanks to Iida. Izawa. Save your phone's power for in case there's another emergency. Ichako. Okay, Izawa-sensei. Minoru. Huh. Gasp gee guys, look. Zero. What is? Elsewhere. Hyoka. Pick up the pace, Kaminari. Enki. Dim a break here. I'm still gaining my senses from short-circuiting. Hyoka. It's your fault for acting all pompous instead of telling us about your crappy side effect. Yamomo's already ahead of us. Enki. Geez, calm down. Besides, isn't that her over there? Hyoka looks ahead of her and sees Momo standing still looking up above the plaza. Hyoka. Yeah Momo, what are you doing? Momo. Midoriya. Hyoka. Midoriya. What are you going on about? What the? Landslide zone. Shoko is seen sliding her way to the plaza on an ice path she's creating. She continues sliding until she notices something ahead of her. She jumps off the ice path and lands in front of what was in front of her. She ends up creating an ice wall to block an explosion from a certain blonde. Shoko. Oh, it's you. Bitsumi. The hell are you doing showing up out of nowhere? Ig. Oh, hey Todoroki. Didn't expect to run into you here. Shoko. Where do you two think you're going? The plaza is that way. Bitsumi. So? I'm giving those bastards a piece of my mind. I'll blow 'em to bits. Shoko. How naive are you that you think you have a chance? Think rationally and you should understand that they most likely have a means of killing All Might. Do you honestly think you can beat that? Bitsumi. I'll be damned if I can't. Shoko. God, you're immature. Bitsumi. The hell did you call me? How about I blow you away instead? Ig. Hey, calm down Bakugo. Let's not fight amongst our classmates. Bitsumi. Shut it, shitty hair. Ig. Our hair isn't that different, you know. Shoko. This is a waste of time. I'm going. Ig. Hey, wait a minute. Aren't you going the same direction we're going in? Shoko. Yes, I am. Bitsumi. Why the hell do you get to go there? Shoko. Because I don't have to worry about being strong enough. Bitsumi. Why you icy hot bit? Ig. Hey, what's that? Bitsumi. Huh? Shoko. The three of them, along with the others at the entrance and Momo's group who noticed round about the same time, can't see Izuku rising up in the air above the plaza. His mouth was hanging wide open, one of his canines and upper right incisor both knocked out, eyes were whited out and body beaten and bloodied. At that very moment Nomu appears right next to Izuku with both his hands together raised above his head. Nomu slams his fists into Izuku's stomach and sends him crashing down into the plaza. Izuku lies there in his own Izuku-shaped crater with his limbs spread out. Nomu lands on his gut, although Izuku doesn't even respond to it now. Izuku. Crap, I can't move. The rapid and mixed transformations combined with me using one for all and the absolute beating this thing just gave me were way too much for even my body to handle. I can't go on. It's no use. Backup needs to get here immediately. Once they kill me, they'll go after the others. Ichako. Deku, what happened? Speak to me, are you okay? Sayu. Midoriya-kun, are you still alive? Are you alright? Please, even if you aren't, just tell me yes. Momo. Midoriya, why didn't you tell me you were fighting? Can you hear me? Hyoka. Midoriya, what the hell? Why would you take them on? Minoru. Midoriya, everything's fine, right? Right. Everyone. Midoriya Deku. Izuku. Everyone. Momo. We're coming down there, hang on a bit longer. Hyoka. You'd better still be alive, otherwise I'll kill you. Sayu. Midoriya-kun, I don't care what you have to say, we're coming down to save you. Ichako. Deku-kun, please, stay safe. Minoru. Midoriya, the others are coming for you. I'll see you soon. Izuku. What? No please, stay away, all of you, this thing will kill you, damn it, they probably can't hear me, I can't focus hard enough to transmit to all of them, no, this can't be happening, why is this happening again, am I just going to lie here while my pack is slaughtered before my eyes again? Izuku's mind flashes back to the incident from 5 years ago. He's lying behind a bush after being shot. Through the leaves he can see his pack, his family being shot and killed one by one. Their cries of pain and fear causing tears to run down his face as he screams out in horror and despair. The flashbacks end as he comes to the realization that that scenario was once again about to happen. Izuku. No, never again. I refuse to let that happen again. I trained so that I could protect everyone. Get up, body. I need you to listen to me now. I don't care if you're in pain. My friends need me. I need to beat this thing. I need a body that can handle one for all, tank this thing's punches, deliver as much damage as possible, and most importantly, can save my friends. After running for a while, Momo, Kyoka and Denki make their way to the plaza. Kyoka. There they are. Denki. Jesus, that thing's huge. It's even bigger than Midoriya and it's just standing on him. Do you think? Momo. Do not even joke of that. Denki. I'm not joking, just look at him. How do you expect us to fight the thing that did that to him? Momo. We just need to create a distraction and rescue Midoriya-kun. Jiro and I will cause the distraction while you retrieve Midoriya. Denki. Why can't I do the distraction? Kyoka. You'd fry your brain doing so and just be an easy target. Just leave it to us and go get Midoriya. Kurogiri. I'm afraid I can't let you be doing that. The three of them turn around and find Kurogiri standing right behind them menacingly. Denki. Kyoka. This guy again. Momo. This isn't good. At that exact same moment, Achako, Tsuyu, Mina, Sato and Shoji make their way into the plaza. Sato. There they are. Mina. Get off of him, you monster. Mina yells as she throws acid at Nomu. Nomu easily dodges the acid, as well as follow-up attacks from Tsuyu and Sato. Achako and Shoji try to use the opening to get close to Izuku, but are cut off by Nomu, who appears in front of both of them. Tsuyu manages to pull them both back with her tongue in time, so that they dodge a punch from Nomu. Shoji. He's not letting us move an inch. Mina. We won't even be able to get close to Midoriya at this rate. Tamura. Ignorant kids. How about we have you join your friend over there since you're so eager? Nomu. Nomu appears right in front of the group with his fist cocked back. The students are shocked to say the least and prepare for the worst. However, a large blur zooming around the area catches everyone's attention. The blur runs into Kurogiri and sends him flying straight into Tamura. It heads straight into Nomu next and manages to knock him back to where the fountain once was. The blur now stands still in front of the students so that they can get a good view of it now. The creature before stood at a height that made Nomu seem like a dwarf. It had the lower body and torso reminiscent of a bear, except much bulkier. Its back was covered in white fur, while its chest was black. Its arms were large and gorilla-like with the addition of blazing green feathers attached to them and sharp emerald green claws. Its neck was rather thick and it had the head of a wolf. It had a long thick reptilian tail that ended not in a tip but what appeared to T-Rex head. Izuku. Demon Beast Fang. Unholy amalgamation chimera. Izuku yells as the head on his tail roars the iconic roar of the king of the Cretaceous period. Denki. Whoa. Achako. Deku, is that you? Izuku. Yeah, sorry to make you all worry about me. Tamura. You're still alive. You should be a bloodied up corpse. Izuku. My death doesn't come that easily. I told you, didn't I? I promised I wouldn't die. Tamura. You're getting on my nerves now. Nomu, hurry up and end this brat's life. Nomu gets back up on its feet and gets ready to fight. Izuku. Stay back, all of you. I'll take care of this once and for all. Tsuyu. Midoriya-kun, you're already hurt so badly. Achako. Deku, your body can't last like this. Momo. If you fight now you'll really. Izuku. If there was ever a time to listen to me, it'd be now. With this augmented body of mine, I can beat this thing and protect you all, so just stay out of my way. Denki. We don't really have any time to argue against him now. Kyoka. He's right, I really don't want to admit it, but he's right. Achako. But Jiro. Momo. She's right, you're Raka-san. Midoriya-kun, I hope you're not lying to us. Izuku. Thanks, Momo, here I go. Izuku says as he rushes straight at Nomu, who rushes towards him as well. The two massive beasts clash fists with each other and create a shockwave, pushing everyone else back. The two clash evenly for a while until Izuku's fist starts pushing Nomu's back. Izuku yells and sends Nomu crashing into the ground. Tamura. What? He overpowered Nomu. Izuku. This is the ultimate body, the ultimate combination of beasts. Izuku jumps in the air and slams his fists into Nomu's skull. Izuku. The supreme arm strength of the Western Lowland gorilla. Izuku stabs his claws into the Nomu's body and lifts him up so he's face level. Izuku. The claws of the Therizinosaurus sharpen to the extent that they rival blades made of obsidian. Izuku tosses Nomu to the side like discarded trash. Nomu quickly recovers and rushes at Izuku. Izuku deflects his punches with his fists easily and lands a blow to the face. Nomu gets back on its feet and manages to land a punch into Izuku's gut. Much to the surprise of everyone, Izuku doesn't even react. Izuku grabs Nomu's arms with both his hands. Izuku. The body of the Kodiak bear combined with that of the durable honey badger. Izuku starts spinning like a top with Nomu in tow. They keep spinning faster and faster until they're just one blur. Izuku lets go and flings Nomu into the mountain of rockslide zone. Izuku leaps forward and drives his claw into Nomu's stomach. He lifts Nomu up before slamming him into the ground. He runs back to the plaza while dragging Nomu across the concrete. Izuku pulls his claw out and unleashes a barrage of powerful punches. Nomu tries to get back up and retaliate, but his upper body gets chomped on by the head on Izuku's tail. Izuku. The unrivaled jaw power of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. The T-Rex head slams Nomu's body into the concrete. It lifts his body up and slams him into the concrete again and continues to thrash him around like a rag doll. It crunches down on him hard before flinging him up high into the air. Izuku's body surges with green electricity as he bulks up. His arms catch ablaze and forms large dazzling wings. Izuku. Your shock absorption and regeneration can't save you now. I'll do more damage than they can possibly handle with this one attack. Izuku yells as he jumps up into the air and takes flight. Izuku flies straight at Nomu and slashes him with his claws. Izuku circles back and slashes at Nomu from a different direction. Izuku yells louder as his speed increases by the second. He becomes fast enough to the point that it looks like multiple Izukus are attacking Nomu from different directions. As the attack goes on, the intensity of Izuku's flames increases as well. For those watching down below, it was almost as if Nomu was in the middle of a massive green fireball. Izuku ends the assault by flying up into Nomu's stomach. He keeps on flying, going through the ceiling of USJ in the process. The two rise up into the air with the appearance of a rocket taking off. Once they reach a suitable height, Izuku stops and lets Nomu float up briefly. Izuku flies behind Nomu and grabs him from behind. He reorients them so that their heads are pointed towards the ground. Izuku. End of the line for you, Chimera. The two of them start falling headfirst down to the ground. Izuku engulfs them both in a large ball of green flames. They begin to accelerate downwards. The others still in USJ look up to see what appears to be a giant green fireball heading down towards them. Tamura. Damn it, this doesn't look good. Kurogiri, do something. Tamura turns to Kurogiri only to see him pinned down at the neck piece by Kitsumi, Igi and Shoko. Kitsumi. Stay out of the damn mutt's way. Izuku and Nomu descend down onto USJ like a massive meteorite. Izuku. Meteor. The massive ball of flames crashes into the plaza and creates gigantic explosion on impact. Everyone is blasted off their feet from the resulting force of the blast. Those still scattered around USJ can see the explosion coming from the plaza. The explosion dies down. Everyone in the plaza runs towards the crash site. At the epicenter of the massive crater, Izuku and Nomu are seen upside down, with Nomu's head implanted in the ground. Izuku lets go of his hold on Nomu, causing Nomu to fall on his stomach and Izuku to fall on his back. Tamura. Nomu, get up. Nomu remains unmoving and silent despite Tamura's ordering. Tamura. Did you hear me? Get up, Nomu. Izuku. He ain't getting up. Izuku slowly manages to get back up on his feet. As he walks out of the crater, his body begins changing back to normal. His limbs revert back to broken and bloodied ones. His entire body was practically covered in his own blood. He walks out of the crater and stands before Tamura and Kurogiri with an enraged expression on his face. Izuku. If you ever dare to try and hurt my pack again, I will tear you to bits. Don't you dare forget that. Tamura. No, this is impossible. Nomu can't lose. He's the anti-symbol of peace. You damn cheater, forget killing All Might. I can't allow someone like you to live. I'll fucking kill you, you damn brat. Tamura yells as he lunges at Izuku with hand outstretched. Tired and injured as he may be, Izuku raises his fist to counterattack. Shoji stretches his arm towards Tamura while Tsuyu shoots her tongue out to grab Izuku. Kitsumi uses her explosions to rush in, and Shoko starts freezing the ground. Before anyone's attack can reach, they're all caught off guard by the sound of entrance gates bursting open. The sound of gunshots is heard, and a bullet pierces through Tamura's hand. From the dust cloud formed at the entrance, familiar figures walk out and an iconic voice resounds. All Might. It's fine. Out of the dust walks Tenya, the UA staff, and the pissed-off symbol of peace, All Might himself. All Might trips his tie off and stares down the villains angrily. All Might. We are here. Benki. Crying All Might. Tsuyu. And the teachers. Sato. They're here. Izuku. Smirk took them long enough. Izuku says as he falls on his back with a smile on his face. Tamura. Now. Are you fucking kidding me? You decide to show up only after our means of killing you has been defeated. Screw it. Tamura reaches once more to try and turn Izuku to dust. He's stopped however by All Might grabbing his wrist. All Might. I won't let you hurt him anymore. Tamura pulls his hand free and uses his other to try and disintegrate All Might. His hand however instead goes through a portal. Tamura. No, what are you doing? Kurogiri. Kurogiri. We've lost today, Tamura Shigaraki. All we can do now live to fight another day. Tamura. Damn you brat, this isn't over, you'll pay for this. Tamura yells as he and Kurogiri both vanish into thin air. All Might stares at the empty space for a moment before turning around. He looks down at his smiling and seriously injured successor with a look of regret on his face. All Might. You did well today, young Midoriya, I'm sorry. Izuku. Nishishishi, it's alright. Momo. Midoriya-kun. Ichako. Deku. Izuku's classmates in the plaza run up and gathers around him. Izuku looks at all of them while still smiling. He looks up to the sky and takes a deep breath. Izuku. Class 1A. Izuku yells with all the air in his lungs. All his classmates scattered around USJ and the teachers look to the source of his voice. Izuku. This battle is ours. Only the beginning. We open to a bar located in the Kamino ward of Yokohama, Japan. The dark bar is completely empty without even anyone behind the counter. Suddenly, a dark portal opens up in the middle of the bar. Out of it falls Tamura Shigaraki. The portal then turns into Kurogiri, who looks down at Tamura, who's bleeding from his hand. Tamura. Damn it, we lost so pathetically. All those grunts we recruited got taken down in an instance, and on top of all of that, we lost Nomu. Sounds like the raid didn't go too well. Tamura and Kurogiri look to a monitor on a table that displays sound only. Yes. It's a good thing we did it under the cheap name of the League of Villains. It seems Nomu wasn't ready to take on All Might after all. Tamura. It wasn't All Might who took down Nomu, it was some kid. Huh? You're saying a kid defeated the weapon we worked hard to make as strong as All Might? Tamura. Yeah, that kid wasn't normal. Not only was he as fast as All Might, it was like he had multiple quirks. He morphed himself and parts of his body into animal parts, manipulated the ground, froze Nomu, turned himself into crystal, and a lot other stuff, too. Those are cheat level abilities. This boy, what did he look like? Tamura. He had green hair, green eyes, a wolf tail, wolf ears, and was about as tall as All Might. Green hair and green eyes, I see. Tamura, this raid was by no means a failure. In fact, it's been a far greater success than you realize. Tamura. What? I don't understand. Don't worry about it. Instead, learn from this loss and grows with time. Gather the elite to make them your pawns. In order for us to move freely within this world, we need a symbol like you. Next time, you will show the world why you are meant to be feared. This is only the beginning of your takeover. The figure on the other end of the transmission says before the monitor turns off. At the unknown area where the figure from the communication resides, the sound of laughter can be heard softly. On a single chair in front of a monitor, a large figure is seen chuckling rather uncontrollably. I've finally found him. It took me 15 years, but I finally found him. And with one for all, no less. Hisashi, Inko, you've failed. You should have hidden him better, because now, the ultimate quirk and supreme rule over the world is now within my grasp. Meanwhile, at USJ. After having taken care of the remaining villains scattered throughout USJ, the teachers wasted no time in getting the police involved. Currently, the police officers are working on detaining the villains, while Detective Tsukauchi is taking count of the students. Tsukauchi. 17, 18, 19. Other than that boy with the wolf ears, everyone else seems unharmed. Toru. Ejiro-kun. I heard you were fired up this time. Ejiro. I thought everyone was by themselves. I just survived using hit and run tactics. Where were you, Hagakure? Toru. In the landslide zone. I was really surprised at how strong Todoroki was. Ejiro. I'm glad you weren't hurt. Shoko. I could have killed her. That was close. Yuga. Sparkling, where do you think I was? Tokoyami. I see. So the people you fought were also just hooligans. IG. They underestimated us cause we're kids. Yuga. Sparkling where? Zero. To think Midoriya could cause an explosion like that. Sato. Dude's got some serious power. Yuga. Where do you think I was? Yuga asks while placing his hand on Sayu's shoulder out of nowhere. Sayu. Where? Yuga. Sparkling, it's a secret. Tsukauchi. Alright, let's have you kids return to your classrooms for now. It's not like we'll be questioning them right away anyway. Sayu. Detective, what about Mr. Izawa? Tsukauchi. Eraser had suffered comminuted fractures in both arms and a face fracture. His orbital floor was broken into small pieces and his eyes may suffer some after effects. Luckily there wasn't any serious brain damage. That's what the doctor said. Sayu. Kiro. Minora. No. Mina. What about 13? Tsukauchi. They've already been treated. The laceration from their back to upper arm was bad, but they'll survive. Thanks to that green-haired student's quirk, both her and Izawa's injuries are far less serious than they should be. Ichako. Deku. Tenya. What about Midoriya? Tsukauchi. Midoriya, that boy. He'd been rushed to the along with All Might since he's the only one who can lift him. The boy apparently suffered even worse injuries than 13 and Eraserhead. Both his arms are broken, his left leg has a tibial shaft fracture, severe damage to his skull, mainly the frontal bone, he has several broken ribs, minor spinal trauma, and most of his blood is splattered around the plaza. Excuse me for being frank, but he really shouldn't be alive right now. Minora. Oh my god. Momo. Midoriya no. Tsukauchi. Now, there's no need to get so sullen. From what I've heard, he has some sort of healing ability active that helps keep him alive in his fragile state. Recovery Girl is also rushing to the to treat him. With all that being said, I've no doubt that he'll be as good as new when he recovers. The faces of the group brighten up from hearing this, with the exception of Shoko and Kitsumi, who remain with indifferent expressions. Tsukauchi. Now then, I have some business with All Might, so I'll be taking my leave. Sansa, mind taking over for me? Sansa, yes sir. Mina. It's a cat. A Chaco. Not a dog, huh? As Class 1 aboards the bus and gets ready to return to UA, Kitsumi remains standing in front of USJ. Izuku. If you ever dare to try and hurt my pack again, I will tear you to bits, don't you dare forget that. Izuku's words echo in her head with the image of his bloody and beaten towering before Tamura flashing before her eyes. A scowl grows on her face, and she tightens her fist. Kitsumi. I will not be left behind. IG. Hey Bakugo, we've got to head back to class. Kitsumi. I know, Hitch. Kitsumi turns around and starts walking to the bus. Meanwhile, Nezu, Midnight and Snipe are standing inside at the top of the stairs, looking down at the massive crater in the center of the blood-splattered plaza. Nezu. We're going to need to drastically amp up school security after this. Snipe. Yeah. Hayama. A warp quirk is rare enough, but for it to end up in the hands of a villain. Nezu. A student's blood was spilled today. And we teachers weren't able to do anything without stopping it from happening. I think this tells us that we need to step up our game as well. Hayama. Yeah, I don't like seeing my Izuku in pain like this. Snipe. This boy, he risked his life in order to protect his friends. He really is Hisashi's son. Nezu. Yes, but I don't think he's ready to know that yet. I'm Skip, Musatafu Hospital. In a closed-off room at the far back of the hospital, All Might in his true form and Recovery Girl can be found sitting in front of a hospital bed. In the bed lays an unconscious Izuku completely wrapped in bandages while connected to several machines. Recovery Girl. I can't really scold either of you two because of the situation, but this isn't what a successor should look like in front of his master. All Might. I know I shouldn't have wasted my time. I should have been there for him. Recovery Girl. There's nothing you can do about it now. All you can do is continue to train him and prepare him for future scenarios like. This is only the beginning of his long road, he can't hit a roadblock so early. All Might. I know. Recovery Girl. Good. Now, what about the Hussycats? All Might. Ragdoll and Tiger are on their way here. They're very worried about him. Recovery Girl. As parents should be. All Might. Parents, huh? Pick up the pace, Hisashi. All Might closes his eyes and thinks back to a certain time, years prior to the current events. A much younger him can be seen jumping from rooftop to rooftop. All Might. Smirk, I thought you were the one who was supposed to show me around Musatafu. All Might says while referring to an individual right behind him. Said individual is a young man with dark hair and eyes dressed in a dark gray-green suit and smoking a cigarette. Hisashi. Pant, well it's kinda hard pant to keep up with someone with super strength. Pant, can't we take a break? All Might. Sure. Hisashi. You think I ran my lungs out there? Getting kinda hard to breathe actually. All Might. Well maybe it'd help if you weren't smoking so much. Hisashi. Yeah, I guess so. You know, I think it's about time I quit these. All Might. Really? I thought they calmed your nerves. Hisashi. They do, but I'm gonna be a dad soon. I can't be smoking in front of my kid. It'd set a bad example. All Might. I see. Hisashi. Besides, smile, I wanna live a life long enough for me to see him grow up. All Might. Oh, you're already starting to act like a father. Hisashi. That's so. Say, if you've ever got free time, why don't you come down from Tokyo to see our kid? I bet he'd love to see a top hero up close in person. All Might. You do realize you yourself are a top hero, right? Hisashi. Yeah, but you're the top hero. I don't want my son settling for 7th best. All Might. Hahaha, fine then since you insisted so much. All Might says with a bright smile on his face which causes Hisashi to smile brightly as well. The memory fades as All Might opens his eyes and looks down at Izuku. All Might. He inherited his father's smile. Recovery Girl. Yes. It's exactly like his. The next day, Namuri residence. The grumpy Izuku can be found laying on his bed completely bored out of his mind with Luna. He's wearing nothing but shorts with his entire body wrapped in bandages aside from his hair, eyes and mouth. His arms and left leg are encased in casts, and he has a transparent cone around his head. Izuku. Ugh, I hate this. Just then, the door to his room opens for Tiger and Ragdoll to walk in. Ragdoll. Hey, Izuku, how you holding up? Izuku. Everything still hurts. And why do I have to wear this stupid cone of shame around my head? Tiger. Because you kept biting your bandages. Izuku. I only did that because I can't use my hands or transform my body to grow extra limbs for scratching. Tiger. You're not supposed to scratch them either. Izuku. But they're itchy. Ragdoll. Well, look on the bright side. You only have to suffer for a few more hours until recovery girl comes. She'll heal your arms so you can use your feathers to take care of the rest. Izuku. Ugh. Tiger. Hang in there, bud. We'll go buy you ramen from your favorite ramen shop. Izuku. Thanks. Ragdoll. We'll be back soon. Ragdoll says as she and Tiger exit the room and close the door behind them. Luna. You need to find a new way to heal yourself, Izuku Nai. Izuku. Yeah. The feathers aren't really that useful if I can't use my arms. Luna. You got hurt really badly this time. I hope it was worth it. Izuku. Most definitely. I managed to protect my pack, that's all that matters. I wonder how they're doing. Hayama. Izuku, you've got visitors. Izuku. Visitors. Coming. Izuku says as he and Luna get up from the bed. He walks up to the door which Luna opens for him using her teeth. He walks into the living room and is surprised to find nearly all of his classmates standing there. Izuku. Guys. Michako. Deku, you're okay. Hyoka. Does that look okay to you? Izuku. What you guys doing here? Momo. We wanted to check up on you and see if you were doing alright after everything that had happened. Shoji. We all decided to get together and went to the hospital only to find your room empty. Sai. Luckily, we ran into recovery girl there and she told us where you lived. Ig. We tried to get Bakugo and Todoroki to come along, but they refused. Denki. Seriously didn't expect you to be living with Midnight of all people though. Minora. Did she take it? Did she steal your first? Denya. What do you think you're asking? Izuku. My first what? Minora. Oh, thank God, that means she hasn't taken it. Midnight. Seriously, what kind of person do you think I am? Sato. Hey, I get the bandages and casts, but what's with the cone around your head? Izuku. Stupid cone stopped me from biting at itchy bandages, they so irritating. Zero. You bite at them? Toru. That really sucks, huh? Let me see if I can help. Toru says as she walks up and starts scratching Izuku's chest. Much to everyone's surprise, Izuku's tail starts wagging and he lies on his back like a dog. Izuku. Ah, that feel a lot better. Thanks Toru. Can you maybe scratch more so I'm being domesticated, damn it. Izuku yells as he jumps back on his feet. Luna. Show some wolf pride, Izuku Nai. Bajiro. Is that a wolf? Izuku. Yeah, my baby sister Luna. Hyoka. Baby sister. Izuku. Yeah, she and twin brother Ace, my younger siblings. Denki. Well, he is practically a wolf, so I guess that makes sense. Luna. Your friends seem nice, Izuku Nai. Izuku. Yeah, they are. Mina. Can you two talk to each other? Izuku. Yeah. Koda. She says we seem nice. Tokoyami. Oh, that's right, your quirk lets you talk to animals. Izuku. Sniff something smells good. Momo. Oh, well it isn't much, but I made you some food to thank you for protecting us. Minora. I bought a melon too. Shoji. I got some takoyaki from this local restaurant that sells them in large portions. Figured it'd be perfect for your appetite. Ajiro. I'd heard pork katsudon was your favorite, so I went with Shoji to the same restaurant and bought a bowl to go. Ichako. I got some mochi. Yuga. I have brought only the finest French pasta and pastries delicious enough to melt your tastibids in pure ecstasy. Mina. I made some natto. Izuku. Whoa, it all look really tasty. Izuku quickly turns his head to look at Midnight with puppy dog eyes. Hayama. Alright, fine, you can take off the cone. Izuku. Yes, freedom. Izuku yells as he bends down and lets Luna pull the cone off with her teeth. At this point though, he realizes that his hands are in casts. Izuku. I can't eat. Izuku looks down with small tears in the corner of his eyes. His mood perks up when an octopus sausage held by a pair of chopsticks gets brought in up to his face. Momo. If you don't mind, I could feed you. Wasting absolutely no time at all, Izuku chomps down on the sausage, startling Momo quite a bit. Izuku. Yummy Momo, your food tastes great. Momo. Blush smile really? I'm glad. Mina. Hey, try my natto. Ichako. Have some mochi. Shoji. The takoyaki's gonna get cold. Ajiro. Same with the katsudon. Minoru. Try my melon. Yuga. Sparkling embrace the noodle. After about 2 minutes of feeding chaos, Izuku sits down on the couch satisfied with a full stomach. Izuku. Ah, that hit the spot. I really stuffed. Zero. Glad to see you in high spirits, man. Sato. Yeah, we figured you'd be pretty bored and down in the dumps being stuck wrapped up in those bandages. Izuku. Yeah, was super bored. Mina. Say, why don't you use those feathers of yours to heal yourselves? Izuku. I need arms unbroken for that. Enki. Oh, well that's kind of a terrible catch. Sai. Midoriya-kun. Izuku. What is it, Tsu? Sai. Here. Sai says as she holds out Izuku's locket in front of him. Izuku. My locket. That's right, I ask you to look after it for me. Izuku lowers his head and allows Tsuyu to place the locket around his neck. Izuku, thanks Tsu. Sai. Don't mention it. In fact, I'm the one who should be thanking you for protecting Minoru and I. Shoji. Speaking of which, where is Minoru? Mina. Yeah, I haven't seen her since she shoved that melon down Midoriya's throat. Izuku. Sniff sniff I can smell her. Izuku stands up and starts following Minoru's scent, with the others following after him. They eventually make their way to Izuku's room where they find Minoru lying in his bed. Minoru. Oh, hey. Izuku. There you are. Zero. No, that's not the right reaction to have right now. Ichako. What are you doing in Deku's bed? Minoru. I felt tired so I thought I'd rest up a bit. Izuku. Oh, why my bed though? Minoru. I figured it'd be comfortable. Izuku. I see, that makes sense. Sato. You gotta stop trusting her so much and see the ulterior motives here, man. Minoru. Now then, where are the magazines? Enki. Stop, that's his adolescence you're invading. Izuku. Magazines. What I need those for? Minoru. Oh, you're a digital type of guy. No paper trails, I see. Where's your phone? Izuku. Under pillow. Zero. Dude. Minoru. Aha, now let's see what kind of stuff you're into him. Gasp, his history is clean and the only search is how to send photo. Enki. What? That's not possible. Minoru. Midoriya, what exactly do you use for self-release? Izuku. Self-release. What that mean? Minoru. You mean you don't gasp? The and he's a pure child. Izuku. I don't get it. Hyoka. Why you don't need to? Izuku. Okay, on my leg. Denya. Midoriya, are you okay? Izuku. I fine, just supposed to stay off leg. Izuku says as he proceeds to sit down on his bed. Izuku. Can't wait for recovery girl to come and heal me. Okoyami. It seems you really went through quite the ordeal for the sake of us. Momo. Yes, you pushed your body through great pain in order to save us. Denya. It's our fault you ended up like this. This is inexcusable. Izuku. What are you guys talking about? Momo steps forward ahead of the others and bows in front of Izuku. The others follow suit and bow as well. Momo. Thank you for saving us. We're sorry to have been such a burden for you. We promise to do better so that you will never be forced into such a situation like that ever again. The group remains silent as if waiting for a response from their wolf class president. The silence continues and ends up becoming unnerving for the group. The stiffening silence is broken by Izuku suddenly pressing his forehead against Momo's. Izuku. I don't want you guys thinking like that. Enki. Whoa, what the? Toru. I can hear Midoriya's voice in my head. Okoyami. Is this telepathy? Izuku. None of the injuries I got from yesterday's fight were the result of any of your actions. I fought to protect all of you of my own volition. I never considered any of you a burden. It's because of you all that I managed to break through my limits and win yesterday. You're my pack and I'm your leader. I consider you all my dear family that I'll protect no matter what. Izuku sits up straight, causing everyone else to stand up straight as well and look at him. Izuku. I will gladly lay down my life for you all. Minoru. Whoa. Enki. Sniffle, what the heck are you saying, man? We've only known each other for like a week. Izuku. Doesn't matter to me. We're friends and family. You can rely on me more so there's no need to hold back. Okay. Momo. If you put it like that, it makes it hard to say no. Smile, I suppose we'll take you up on that, Midoriya-kun. Izuku. Smile, I'm happy to hear that. Ichako. Deku, you can also rely on us so there's no need to take everything up on yourself. We want to help you too. Denya. Your Uraraka-kun is right. It's only fair that we pull our own weight as well. Izuku. You guys have a wild spirit within you. I wouldn't have it any other way. Sure, I'll call for you guys whenever I need help too. Toru. Ah, I feel a lot better now. Sai. Me too, it's like a weight got lifted off my chest. Zero. This is only the first week of my high school years, but it's already the craziest experience of my life. Shoji. Same. Izuku. This is only the beginning of our life together. I'm sure it'll only get far more hectic from this point onwards, but as long as we're together, it'll be more fun than we can possibly imagine. Are you guys excited? Everyone. Yeah. Izuku. Smile. Yeah, me too. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.